Welcome to ICCG's Close-Up, sponsored by Round World Solutions. I'm your host, Ellis Booker. Joining us today, we have Ken Lawonn, who is the Senior Vice President and CIO of Sharp Healthcare. Hello, Ken.
Hello, Ellis.
Also on the call, a colleague of mine, we have Steve Winstead, who is a partner of Round World Solutions. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Ellis. A pleasure to be here.
Great. So, Ken, our first question is, what can big data and advanced analytics bring to an organization like Sharp Healthcare?
Well, we're really excited about the potential for big data. Sharp has been in the data warehouse business for a number of years, and we have a lot of information that we're gathering around clinical results, outcome measures that we do for a lot of our managed care programs through a real structured data base. But what we see as the potential for big data is really to begin to analyze and mine a lot of the data that we've been capturing through the implementation of electronic medical records. That's really more of in an unstructured or raw format. So we see that big data can allow us to look at physician notes, look at progress notes, look at data we're getting in conjunction with data we're getting from lab and radiology and things like that to really better understand and find trends or indicators out of the information that's embedded in unstructured data. So we also really see a great potential to just have better capability to analyze the volume of data we have in our EMR, both inpatient and ambulatory. We talked to some physicians about the ability to do a simple search. I want to search all the patients that I've seen over the last few years to look for specific conditions. What I've treated today, that's very difficult to do. So it's another area where we're hoping the technologies around big data will really enable an ability to do more of that kind of information. We see it really as a lot of more exploratory, I think, than maybe what I'd call true analytics. It's like what kinds of insights or answers might we find, and then how do we further leverage that with potentially even doing some structured analysis. And then finally, there's just ability to correlate both clinical data, sociographic data, demographic, customer relationship type of data. And we're seeing what other industries have been able to do using the big data technology. So we're excited about doing some analysis just around those areas as well.
Mm-hmm. I know that Steve had a follow-up question about big data. Steve, why don't you take it away?
Yes, Ken. Are there any really pertinent lessons learned that you would give out as advice to maybe other folks based on the sort of the big data work that you have been doing so far?
Well, we're early on in the process, and I think one of the things that we've discovered that is probably the best way to approach this is to look at a specific problem or interest that you have, and then try to build and introduce the technology around solving something that a specific problem, versus just saying, bring in a cluster or something and pull my data in there, and then just see what insights I might gain. So our approach has been to let's try to find a specific problem and see what we can do around solving that, so we can demonstrate value.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to governance, another big topic for ICCG. What's the impact of governance in the big data projects that you've got going?
That's a great question. We're really launching a data governance program around our existing data warehouse as we begin to uncover some data integrity or quality issues around doing enterprise analytics. And I think with big data, that the data quality and data management is going to be increasingly important. What we are thinking about and looking at is kind of a hybrid approach. We might start with just kind of, as I said, inquiring into the data, mining it to see what we're finding in the big data world. And then as we start to identify areas we really want to focus on, we'll go back and take a look at do we have data quality or data definition issues, and then move before we actually start having people making critical business decisions around what they're seeing. We'll go through and do some more work on really the data management, the data definitions, and the full data governance agreement. But at least initially, we're going to start out with kind of more of an open approach to the big data area. Although, as I said, it will be increasingly important to know the quality and the source of that data as we go further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know, Steve, you had a follow-up.
Yeah, excellent point about data quality. What about data security? Is that another large concern that you see?
Yeah, it is, obviously. One of the things that we have to work on balancing is the appropriate access to data versus the ability to learn and leverage the data. And we've been incorporating data governance models. And one of the things that we believe will be effective is to have some of it be somewhat self-released too. People will have access to data around the areas that they've been focusing on and covering, but they may also be able to access data from other parts of the organization. And I think if we look at how the data is used and the cases we're looking at, I think we can then hone in on where do we need to concern ourselves about security and where do we just need to be more open about people's access. So it's an issue that we're struggling with a bit because you have those people in the organization that really want to control access, and then you have those parts of the organization that are really saying we need to open this up and see what we can find. So we're taking an approach of trying to start with it, as I said, on a single business and see what that tells us about how much control or control you really have to have for security and how you're using the data to have a lot of how you actually end up securing the information.
Ken, in the time remaining, we did want to ask you about your top priorities for the coming year at Sharp Healthcare. Can you speak to that?
Sure. One of the areas that we're really focused on is what we call being a digital strategy, really around how do we look at our healthcare consumers more like retail, and how do we make our services more available, how do we move to some people call it healthcare organizations, and so that we can provide services and interact with patients and consumers in different ways, online, whether that's through mobile devices, whether that's through televisits. So we really need to look at that because we're seeing a lot of competition in healthcare coming from non-traditional sources, whether that be drugstores or places like Walmart, and even just some online services that start to provide different programs for individuals that are based on not having the hard assets that we have that we want to bring people to. So that's a big area of focus on developing strategy. The second one is a big priority for us, and it's really, I guess I'd call it more tactical. The fact that we have a health that's growing significantly, and we really need to look at the technologies that we're using to support that and maybe leapfrog some of the older style technologies to something that's much more modern and much more individually focused, as both healthcare and the healthcare insurance is really moving to more of an individual model than a group model.
Great. That's going to have to do it. I'd like to thank our guest today, Ken Lawonn, for joining us. Once again, thank you for watching ICCG's Close-Up, sponsored by Round World Solutions. If you'd like to see more of our interviews, join the discussion, or participate as a panelist, please come to our website, iccgusa.com. Thank you.